Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of the August House. And thank you so much for those that are watching from home. This is NTV People's Parliament, and we're coming to you live from the beautiful Tororo district. So those that are watching from home, be part of this conversation.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. My name is Omela Bartolmayo. I come from Kwapa as a parent. There's only one thing I wanted to add, that the previous speakers made me happy, and that sometimes our mothers, parenting starts when the woman is pregnant. What you do during that time, expect even your child, when you give birth to do. The next one is cultural norms. We are aware that sometimes those days they used to say women are supposed to be home. I am a happy professor for bringing this program in Tororo, that today now our women are also doing something. Like when you come to Kwapa, this program has helped, has encouraged the women to also do skilling. We have talked to parents, to the men, to allow their women to go and do something. I know of a family that today in Uganda, when a woman puts a hand on the child, for sure this child becomes successful. Why? Because for us men, sometimes when we leave home, we leave children with their mothers to take care of them. And if you get a woman who doesn't love school, that's why you get challenges of children not going to school and also finding issues. And also the main thing is the responsibility of the children. I am happy of this program. Why? Because our children do also know their responsibilities. We have only talked, sometimes we talk about rights, children's rights, but we forget telling them about their responsibilities. What is a child supposed to do at home? So these are things that our children have missed, but because of this program, they've made the children to know their responsibility, and that's why we see children at school today, happily in Ikwapa. So Professor, we welcome the program back so that we continue empowering the parents. Thank you. I beg to submit.
Thank you. Honorable member, please come to the floor of the August House. And also, men were asking, what are they supposed to do at zero months or zero? Are they supposed to be singing? Someone asked, are they supposed to carry the stomach around? So, Mr. Hosea, you'll come here and explain to the fathers, because probably they want to engage, but they don't know what to do. Are they supposed to be singing for their baby? Will the baby hear? So, please, Honorable member. Good evening, Mother.
Good evening to you,
Yes.
Madam Speaker, and good evening to members in the House. My name is Ayo Proskovia, and I'm a retired teacher. I would like to share two issues of concern, and as far as parenting and poor performance in schools by some peoples. Madam Speaker, there are some parents who are struggling to find money for school fees and other things in the homes, especially treatment and feeding. I have seen that in some homes, there are parents who are distilling the local brew called waraj in our community here. It is of concern. And you find that the whole evening, the drunkards are in the home, in their house, the children don't have enough sleep. Sometimes the drunkard continues to stay in the house past midnight, and yet this child is supposed to go to sleep. The whole compound, the whole weekend is full of drunkards, and the children lack privacy. This local brew I have seen in my community. I come from Tororo municipality in Eastern Division. There's a 2-year-old child. When the mother gives him a small bottle of waraj, the child will cry and throw himself up and down until he's given the Fanta bottle. A 2-year-old. I have the evidence. The child is just my neighbor. So such a child, if he goes to school in future, how much more do you think the teacher is going to pound into this child to change this child to perform better? Also, number two, there are
2 minutes.
the second point is that there are parents who are still struggling to look for school fees and money to support their families. They wake up very early in the morning to go to the market, especially with the mothers. And we wake up with the children, then we put them on borders to go to the schools. When the children come back from school, maybe at 4 o'clock, they join us in the market. They join the mothers in the market. Up to past 9 p.m., they go back home and sleep very late. Such children doze in class. And for the teacher to convince me that the child will be able to learn very well, I think it is not achievable. So these children doze in class and therefore brings in poor performance. In most cases, we people who stay within the municipality, some organizations think we have the abilities to keep children and to keep up with the programs. I would like to call upon Mr. Hosea to look into Tororo municipality in as far as early childhood development is concerned. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
So at this particular moment, I want to have another parent.
Thank you, members present. Straight away, I would just like to appreciate, first of all, our professor on the topic of parenting. In fact, we are not ignorant, but we are lacking awareness. You know, education is a process. It is like giving birth. Even if you have given birth to 12 children, still you have to do what? To seek for knowledge. First of all, we are after parenting, and those are children, the young generations. First of all, we are all parents, but too much of everything is ever what? A disease. We have our children. Therefore, much excitement is also what? A problem. Much punishment is also what? A problem.
And lack of punishment.
And we don't punish, but we do what? We discipline. As you can see me, I am a facilitator on parenting, but before, there was a lot of challenges. After, I'm also a community leader. These days, I don't see reports. In Iolwa police, I want to witness. Their files are now low because they can't now move up and down bringing file for the what? For the parents at home. That there's a domestic what? Violence. Therefore, I would like to appreciate the work of parenting and I encourage the program to do what? To continue. Our children, I know they have talked that parenting begins right from the conception to the time of pushing. But for us, we are emphasizing to the time of going to where? To school only. So I know the brain of a child, they taught us right from the conception up to the time of pushing. The brain is being built 50 what? 50%. So if you miss there, make sure that even if you do what or you do what. And also, time for children. We men, whether we like it or we don't like it, we have no time for our children. I've given this responsibility to women only. So it is a joint thing, joint effort, if we want a achievement tomorrow.
Honorable Member, good evening.
Good evening,
We are talking matters education and also looking into how parents can still support the education sector because these are our children. We just send them to school. How do we support the education system? Please.
Okay. Good evening, everybody in the house.
Good evening, Honorable Member.
My name is Faith Nora Apio. I come from Rubongi, and I want to talk about education and parenting. Under education, I want to add on what we can do as parents in order to improve education. One, we need as parents to create a relationship between parents and teachers. Some parents send their children to school but don't even follow up. They even fear going to face either the class teacher or any teacher handling the child. So we need to do that as parents. Secondly, as we know, for a child to prosper in education, we need to love the child, we need to guide the child, we need to model. So the way we model, the way we guide, the way we love is what creates improved education. When you want your child to pass well, please do those things. So, as we know, responsibility is a shared. So, I call upon the fathers, I call upon the mothers, please share on the responsibility of the child for us to prosper and to have positive parenting. Then there is a challenge that I always see under parenting or education. One, under education, you find when when it's a government school, a parent takes a child when still young, that is P1 to P4. But after P4, P5 is to be handled by private school. Why don't we trust our teachers with our children? That system of changing children, changing pupils from this school to another, from this school to another. Amidst that, there are challenges. I might be used to my teacher from P1. Here comes to P4, P5, you're changing me to another teacher. So that one is also creates some challenge there. So we may say we are having children who are not maybe clever or coping up with education, and yet it's us, the parents, who are doing what? So I'm urging our fellow parents to trust our children with even government school. If you start with the government school, mostly government schools, and these teachers go through the same teachers' colleges, why should we think private school is better than? So with that, I would wish to.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Honorable members, I am still on the side of the school. Earlier on, we used to go to school with the roasted cassava, roasted potatoes, and maize. But the child of these days, they have their bags already on the back. They want the packing, they know the dish and the mandazi. If not, you are going to give that child a coin to buy what he needs in order to go to school. And on the side of the teachers, last time we have the marks that can make you go to the next class. But these days, they're telling that you are being promoted all. For us, we have only two options. You either repeat or you're being promoted to the next class. But these days, there is nothing like repeating and promoting. They all go at a go. Imagine a child. A child has been getting 0, 0, 0, 0 from P1 to P7. What are you expecting out of that child? Now for you, these days, for us earlier on, the parents were strict with the books and the marks. When you get something below 50, you don't even present the report to your parent. But these children of this day, they don't bother. Even if they get 0, but they are being promoted. So I want to urge the teachers, help these parents to know what to do with the children. There is a lot that can make your child to go to the next class and to repeat. Advise the parent and the children to make their brain, make them be what they wanted to be. But when you're sending them all, it is nothing you're getting. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. And I have you see, as you're there having your questions that you're not asking, I have mine. I want to ask Mr. Hosea, people that are looking deeper into it, is this a new species of children? Because there was children of nowadays, but they are our children, and we are still manufacturing more, by the way. So, good evening, sir, and thank you for being part of this conversation.
And the House in general. I'm going to speak about parenting and some disadvantages.
Disadvantages of parenting?
some disadvantages of parenting,
Poor parenting.
poor parenting.
Okay.
Monday to Monday, even on Sundays. How will we parent those children?
And they also have holiday study.
I come from Rubongi, near the barracks. Even on Sundays, children go to school. They have no time. I have some family who struggle by themselves to pay school fees. How will they get school fees? So that's my issue. I end there.
Thank you. You know, when we come for such engagements, we get to learn so many things. Honorable member, please come. Oh, let me have a lady, then have you. Honorable member, as a parent,
Yes.
what are we doing wrong?
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. My name is Ayo Juliet Okwir. I'm a parent and an administrator. Most men are wondering the role that they can play to improve the level of education. I stand here to highlight on a few things that men can do together with the women to improve the level of education. Education does not only start when you send your child to a nursery school, but learning starts right from conception. And the scientists will tell you that the 1,000 days are very important in the quality of the child or the quality of the children that you will have. What do we mean by the 1,000 days? I am not a doctor, but I have the information that within the 1,000 days, immediately a woman conceives, men or together with the women, you're supposed to take very good care of your wife. How do you take very good care of your wife? Nutrition is very important because one, it will help the child to grow with a lot of, it will help the child to develop the brain. But if you neglect the child within the 1,000 days, the 1,000 days runs up to 2 years. And at this level, you're supposed to feed the child well. And breastfeeding is key because it will develop the brain. If you produce a child with a nourished brain, you will have the capacity to nurture such a child. But if the child has a brain that is stunted, because in Uganda, our stunting level stands at 26%, and it is actually worse in Tororo sub-region, where it stands at 49%. And if you have a stunted child, if you have a child with a stunted brain, this child cannot move very far. And remember, stunting can result to chronic malnutrition. And sometimes when the child has a chronic malnutrition, such a child cannot perform well in school. However much the teachers try, even if you engage all kind of knowledge, a child with a stunted brain cannot move far. Even in our hall right now, there are people with stunted brain. You can gauge them with their level of reasoning because you have not been nurtured well. So the 1,000 days is very important. We call upon fathers here seated this evening that once you have a pregnant mother, a pregnant wife, treat her well, feed her well, talk to the child while still in the womb. Someone was asking that, how do you communicate to the child in the womb?
Honorable members, please let us
why
be
am
quiet.
I bringing this? Because this contributes to the level of education that we have. I'm almost summarizing. A child in the womb can discern. A child in the womb can discern light. So you can communicate to the child in the womb. Hello, my baby. How do you do?
Fathers,
Are you faring?
fathers,
This is
you
to the
hear those
fathers.
things?
You can even do this while touching the womb. So fathers, don't let us down. If we want to improve on the quality of learners that we have, 1,000 days counts a lot. However, as I
But the
conclude-
fathers are also asking, when do they get to parent like that? Because the mothers wake up at 6 a.m. to go and work and come back at 10. The fathers are asking.
yes, you cannot. There are certain things that should be deliberate. It should be deliberate. So
As we wind
that
up in
it
1 minute.
I'm winding up. However, education requires holistic approach, and we call for all the key stakeholders, and parents here are the key stakeholders. Don't wait for the teachers to train your child. Train your child from home. And the moment you build the child's self-esteem, the moment you build the child's confidence, believe me, your child will thrive. What does that mean? Communication, listening to the child. Make a child your friend. Relate with them freely, and together we can improve the quality of education.
There is a point of inquiry. Please, Honorable Member, you inquire before you leave so that you can be able to address that. Because there is so much coming to that. So I need DEO, please help me summarize some of those. You're going to come back here. Mr. Hosea as well, and the Inspector, you will help me summarize as we wind up this conversation.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to inquire from the
Speaker,
the
currently,
speaker.
yeah.
Yep. I'm glad you've opened my eyes and ears. You've talked of 1,000 days. I said I am an advocate for HIV in Tororo district, and I represent people living with HIV. We know very well that mothers, after giving birth, HIV positive mothers will only breastfeed for a while. Doesn't make the 1,000 days. Could you conduct a research to support our children who are born by mothers living with HIV?
Okay.
So that they are supported, that these children are all in one class.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Thank you.
Yes, there are so many
practice
people willing to do.
clearly that I am not a medic, and there are certain things that I cannot, of course, respond to, but the 1,000 days are very key, especially for mothers who are HIV negative.
But we can
for
engage
those
in
ones
other
who are
activities.
positive, there are guidelines to that effect. I submit.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Those that are watching from home, this is NTV People's Parliament, and we are seated here in Tororo District. This week, we'll bring you all the details, matters education, and how Tororo is progressing and how we move forward. We take a very short break. When we return, we delve back into the conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching NTV People's Parliament, and we are discussing matters education. We had a lady. Please. There's a point of guidance here, but I believe that apart from breastfeeding, there's so much more a mother can do to engage and ensure that their children develop productively, mentally. Not so, Doctor?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
We are being educated by the doctor.
Moses Waka is my name. A clinician, I practice medicine, and as well handle most of our clients who are having children and still expecting to deliver. What the precurrent speaker has been saying is that organogenesis, formation of these body organs in the body, starts right away after fertilization. So just as the brain grows, just as the kidney grows, just as the liver grows, is a process underneath as a mother conceives and takes the 9 months of pregnancy. So even HIV setup, we have always given a period of breastfeeding, what we call exclusive breastfeeding, where you breastfeed a child entirely on breast milk and not supplement with these other meals that can cause corrosion within the mouth as a point of entry for HIV infection. So 9 months in the womb, 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding is sufficient enough to make this child have brain development to go to class, to compete, and win in an exam. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, and thank you for that inclusion. We thank you so much. Honorable Member, please come.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Madam Speaker. About parenting, you know, people are complaining so much and comparing the current parenting with the past parenting. The parent today faces many challenges. I don't remember even having a session with my mother or father telling me how to behave in school. Okay? But we performed. What is here now is we should know the kind of times that our parents are operating. We have parents who leave home every day. Okay? And the only safe place where you can leave your child is the school. So what are we going to do? We need to be helped by people who assume responsibilities in schools. The school management committees, the board of governors in secondary schools should really, Madam Speaker, I would request for 1 more minute.
Just 30 seconds, because
Yeah,
we're winding
we
up.
need school management committees, the board of governors to be on top of their games. We have people who are put on this board thinking it is a collection center for allowances. When you go back, even the people who are seated here, you are the elites of this district. What is your neighboring school, the primary school, doing? Do you really participate in the meetings to make sure this school performs? The kind of energy that we put in campaigns, during political campaigns and other things, if it is the kind of energy that we put in improving our education, then we would be very, very far. Otherwise, I want to conclude by saying education improvement is our responsibility as parents, as politicians, as technical people. We shouldn't throw it to one department, we shouldn't throw it to one. As government, because I represent government here, we want to say we are doing whatever it is to make sure the funding is there, to make sure the children are secure. I think there is enough security. We need actually to join hands and see how we can improve on this. Thank you so much.
Yes.
My name is Dominic Oburu. I'm a businessman trading in classified commodities. Education, in as far as I have observed in recent years, we have developed a laxity leading to poor performance of most of our children. As parents, some of us have failed. We should first blame ourselves before we can blame the performance of a child. Because you cannot go back when you were too intoxicated and you expect to nurture a child who is also smelling it from you. In terms of diet, poor performance moves with the poor feeding. You cannot tell me that a child who has not been fed with milk, eggs, let alone these modern eggs, these exotic eggs, the local eggs, can perform so well at school. We sometimes blame teachers, but some teachers are also supposed to be blamed because they join educational vocation without a call. Somebody goes there as the last alternative, like, let me just go there. You stand in front of a child and the child sees a monster in you. How do you expect that child to concentrate? A teacher shifts her or his anger to the classroom. So, teachers, DEO, you need some time to do a lot of rethink. And this one goes also to central government. There's a lot of mess in our educational system. In my personal understanding, and if I borrow from diplomacy, we always say there's no need for too much when enough can do.
Thank you.
We must begin and shift from the tradition of tolerating a child because of the move by IMF at the World Bank. Children must be caned in order to make them advance. You cannot pick a bull from the corral to go and train to plow without making it better in itself.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
With
for that
those few
submission.
words, thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Hosea, we are looking at culture contradicting with the print. Please, Honorable Member. Okay. There we are looking at culture, we are looking at the Bible, spare the rod and spoil the child. So we shall have to find where to draw the line. This honorable member come. Wanted to know why with the rate at which children that drop out, child labor, wanted to have a feel of the CDOs in the community. Let us have her, and then I'm going to call upon the DEO to come to the floor of the August House and highlight on some of the issues that were mentioned after the gentleman right there at the back.
Good evening, Right Honorable Speaker. Good evening, our distinguished members of the House. My name is Susan Alamai from the Community-Based Services Department. I do probation work. I want to start by addressing myself to the issues of parenting for respectability. Parenting is, I think, as old as the world is. But when we talk about parenting for respectability, it is something that is researched. And if we follow what the model is all about, the men are going to discover that finally they have a platform to be part of the arena. Parenting for Respectability is a program that took place for about 2 years. One of the components was training persons interested in evidence-based programs for parenting, and I am a proud beneficiary of that. Secondly, I want to say that for the communities of Mela, Iolwa Town Council and Kwapa Town Council, we have registered changes in as far as male involvement is concerned in matters concerning parenting. In the beginning, they wanted special invitations. We honored them, and DCDO wrote a letter inviting men to come for the sessions. We may not have reached 100%, but I think we were at about 65% of registering male attendance. And the other component of this project in Parenting for Respectability was result number 5, districts committing resources to roll out Parenting for Respectability by 2025. In 2026, we have budgeted to expand the parenting programs, positive parenting, and will go outside the 4 areas that were piloted by Makerere University. We are glad that they are coming. So the district itself is committed in making sure that Parenting for Respectability goes across the district. Persons who don't want to reconcile themselves with issues of children's rights. In simple words, children's rights are just human rights for children. And you take it or leave it, the law will catch up with you. Madam
Honorable
Speaker,
member, parents are saying, sure. So these are their children. You've heard them. So I also have a question for you as a probation officer. What are some of these most outstanding issues that have come to your desk in regards to children? But also, how do you then talk to these children, or how do you mold them back into society? Because at the end of the day, they are children. I want to understand that they are children.
At the end
but
of
I
the-
don't, the parent has said, sure, but they didn't come to explain, but now me, that is my question. And what would you tell the parent who has said, sure?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Number one, when we have confronted, these parents are the very people who are saying sure, but when their children have issues, they bring their children to us. And that's when we interface with the parent and the child. We need the commitment of the parent in guiding the child back to being a useful citizen of this country. In previous years, as we still continue, children in conflict with the law who have committed crimes from the age of 12 and above have been brought to us. We appear before the courts of law in respect of these children, and most times parents have abandoned their children. In the time of COVID, I got stuck with 30 boys. I didn't know what to do with them. So for those whose ages were disputed, we had to run to the medical profession to have confirmation of age. And
finally,
we have the Children Act, we have the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. All of them are laws that give us a guide on how to work with children. We have to embrace these laws because we select these members of parliament to go to parliament and pass the same laws that we are supposed to implement.
Okay. DEO, please come and summarize this conversation. We had submissions there. There were concerns that were raised. How do we improve and we move forward? How do we work together as stakeholders? Where do we draw the line in educating and disciplining our children? Because we are their parents, not so, but they are also children and have children rights. DEO, thank you for coming back, and please.
Madam Speaker, you had said we are all members of the parliament.
Yes.
You have reduced me to DEO.
Because now questions were coming to you directly. Now we are. I need protection. Where is my team?
Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Member.
Education service delivery world over is suffering because education is a low-hanging fruit. It is only education where everybody is an expert and the decisions are made by people, most of the times, by people who have not particularly distilled expertise on education. So the people, the people who have the skills rarely have the mandate and the opportunity to make policies regarding education, which is why the world over, education is at different stages of disarray in every country. And it is therefore not surprising that in every gathering you'll have and you start discussing education, the loudest voices
Education
will be made by people who make very strong decisions on education, but actually they have little expertise in that field. That is problem number one. To move away from these decisions, which are mainly influenced by rumors, my appeal is that we should listen. We should listen to the experts and allow the experts to guide policy at all levels, including the writing of the Education Act. Madam Speaker, the Education Act of many countries is not guided by the experts in education, but the people who have the loudest voices and maybe the biggest opportunity to make that decision. I wish to end by saying that the biggest input we require in education service delivery in public schools is parental participation, the support of the parents. Why private schools seem to be doing better is because the parents are committed and they take up their roles, which is rarely done in public schools. The only missing link, which I appeal to all of us, is to continue encouraging the parents to pick up their role and play their part in the education of their children. I beg to move.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Let me have Mr. Jose. There were a number of submissions here. There were a number of questions. And I wanted to highlight on some of those as we wind up this conversation. And you are the final speaker for education and parenting, so you summarize it up And I close this particular segment.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and members here.
To wind up with your points, how many are they? Honorable member, she wants some of your points. You have 3 minutes. Can you give her one?
She's burning.
She's burning. Please,
don't
Honorable
know.
member, come to the floor of the August House.
Thank you so much,
Yes.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, please.
And all members of this parliament. I'm called Agendawa Rosemary. I'm a rehired teacher. Many speakers have talked about what is happening today in education and parenting. But for me, this is my observation. The generation's trend, remember we are in 21st century. And this 21st century has come with so many changes, rapid changes, more than ever. And it has also come along with what we call mindset problem. In fact, government, I request, like you have invested a lot of support in education and other community services, you need to invest in mindset rehabilitation. There's no one who can blame. Everybody is committed to his work. They are trying their best, but there's something missing in the mindset that needs to be rehabilitated. When it comes to nutrition, it's very important to children, we all know. What I've also observed is that majority of our children are not performing well because most families, 80%, they feed on things, not food.
Okay. As we wind up, because
Then
some of those
lastly,
were mentioned earlier.
On education, there are so many factors, yes, Mr. Dio has talked about, but I have also observed that some parents have given a big gap. They allow children to command them. Some children tell parents, do this, if you don't do, I will not. So some parents follow children instead of allowing children to follow them.
Okay, thank you. There we have it. Thank you, Honorable Member. Mr. Jose, I think you'll address some of those. In addition to what you were addressing earlier, and then we'll wind up the entire conversation.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker and members of this House. For my closing remarks, I will start by thanking the Speaker that talked about the 1,000 days. This is research, and this is why we have the ECD program in Mela. What you do with your child from conception to 1,000 days matters a lot, but it can stretch to what we call the formative years, up to 6 or 8. There's still a window. If you call your wife a dog when the child is in the stomach, it will be born knowing for it was born by a dog. Because of time, Honorable Speaker, male involvement is a key issue, and I've seen quite a number of us here that are saying we shouldn't generalize men, but statistics are showing only 5% of men in Uganda are actually dads and are actually involved emotionally, physically, materially with their children.
Mr. Jose, allow me ask just one question on behalf of the men, because that's a big number. That's a big number. But also my question is, how about what is your say to the women in the house who are standing out as proud single mothers, that they proudly push away the men from their roles, because that can also not be ignored. The women, I am sorry.
But
it is true.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. This is what we are saying. Yes, they are very proud, but statistics are also showing that a child raised by one parent has a lot it misses. This is why we encourage these single mothers to have a male figure, whether at church, with the grandfather, or at the village, who can have the male voice in the child's life, because the child needs both genders. So when we talk about male involvement,
even when you are an uncle, even when you're a church pastor, your involvement in the lives of the children matter a lot. So this is quite key for us. And if you want to dig deeper, please get engaged in the parenting for respectability, because one of the issues we want to bring back is male engagement in raising children. Number two, culture versus modernity. I wonder whether in the first century children were different from the children of today at birth. We all born as children, we cry, we are naked, we have open minds. Then the society, oh, is that telling me to stop?
No, please wind up.
Imprints on our minds. So if we value our children, it's you and me to regulate modernity, because this is going to be. Televisions are going to be there, social media is going to be there. But the time you spend with your child, guiding, nurturing, advising, is quite important. So let us not use modernity as an excuse. If a child is disrespectful, it learned it from you. If you disrespect your wife, your boys are going to do the same. If you disrespect your husband, that's what is going to happen. So let us not use modernity as an excuse. I am an example. My daughter is 28 years. She still stays with me. She tells me where she's going, tells me her dreams, she tells me her aspiration, she tells me where she's not happy. She was a baby 20 years ago. So it can still happen, ladies and gentlemen. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, the issue of nurturing and nutrition is very important. One person said they are not eating food, they are eating things. But our local food can be prepared in a way that can be more nutritious. We have our beans, we have our OD, we have quite a lot, but the way we prepare them and the frequencies, the intervals at which our children are feeding are quite important. It's not just a basket of cassava or atapa put there, but what's the accompaniment is quite important. And I would like to thank you all for participating and talking more about parenting. But economics may not raise children. Economics may take children to school. Economics might buy the shoes, the clothes, but it's your nurturing, your presence, your warmth as a parent that is going to build this resilient child that even when you have a broken shoe, you can still achieve in life. But if we put economics first, man, we have so many people that are struggling economically, but they can nurture their children to have vision, to have dreams, and work towards those dreams. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
And members, I beg to submit.
Thank you. A round of applause for the honorable member. Now, rebuilding Tororo's academic strength requires all stakeholders to be on the same page. This includes parents, like we've learned. Parenting is very important and key as we send our children out into the world. They are first our parents before they become students. So we need to play our role as parents. And here in Tororo, we have learned that there is a project that is ongoing, and this is parenting for respectability, and it's looking on empowering, yes, the parents to be better parents, but also looking at the students themselves and children right from birth or before birth. So thank you so much for being part of this conversation. This is NTV People's Parliament. I would like to thank everyone who has taken part in this particular segment. Thank you, parents, thank you, teachers, and thank you all the other stakeholders. This is NTV People's Parliament. By the powers vested in me, I adjourn this house. Until next time.